Hi, everyone. This is Christine Thompson, Barrett and Warner lead agent on the CT team, right here with you to give you the live show on the weekly market update for Naperville. I just did it, but I don't think I had it on the right page. So I'm back here again to do it again because I want to make sure you get this show. So I'm going to just jump right into everything and screen share with you the presentation. So bear with me for just a second while I get that set up for you. And here we go. All right, looks like I got it going right this time. Just too many things going on today. It's hard to keep my mind straight on stuff. So thanks for hanging in there with me and waiting for me. I did technically start at 12:15, but I'm doing it again. So here we are. All right, so here's all my information. If you do want to contact me, you know how to reach out to me, or yeah, you find me on Twitter, LinkedIn. I got a little bit of going time on TikTok there. Don't count on that. And I'm going to upload this video into YouTube within 24 hours. So if you are jumping in too late or can't stick around, don't worry. You can just go into YouTube and see it within 24 hours from now. You'll be able to get it right there, and you can take your time looking through it. And I'm going to be sharing graphs and stuff too. So you can always pause, look at the graphs. And if you need information on a certain market that is not Naperville, because I'm using Naperville as like a base here to do the weekly week by week comparison, give me a call. I'm happy. I can put together very similar information for you for your particular market that you're looking in. All right, so enough of the information. You know how to contact me. Let's jump into it. So this is last week's information. And in case you've never watched the show, I show last week's information and this week's information just so you can compare what's going on. So last week we had quote unquote 124 new on the market. Probably closer to a 90 or 100 or 110, because there are listings that cancel themselves off purpose just to renew it, to give it a fresh blood and get in front of people's eyes again, but they're not really a new listing. So let's say there's probably around 100 maybe, okay? But this is a newer going on in the MLS, showing the now. And in the last week, we saw 79 private listings come on or be in there. So, maybe half of them are allowing showings. That's 40. So between the new, maybe around 100, maybe half of the private 40 showing. There's about 140 homes that are available for buyers to be looking at. Okay. So that was a week ago. This week, 103 new, probably less than that. We're seeing the same number of privates. So maybe about half of those are allowing showings, and maybe there's 90. So a little bit less than what was last week. And we're seeing 118 homes went under contract. So a lot of the homes from last week that were on the market have fallen off. That's a lot, because we said there's probably 140 available for buyers. 118 went under contract. That's a lot. So the properties are moving. Average list price a week ago, $560, and under contract, $567, about $100K, about $100K difference there, maybe a little less. So that's the averages, and it can always, the type of inventory can always make this fluctuate a little bit, but it kind of gives you an idea of like at least a range of price ranges that are happening in Naperville that are moving along. This week, $735 is the average list price, and what it went under contract was $610. So the number jumped up there for sure, because before it was like at $460. So, buyers they're willing to go up there on price too. Now, when we say under contract, that's just the list price. That's not the average sale price of those homes. But we can see closed average was $606. Let's see, last week's average close was $487, and now it's $606. So little part of that might have to do with properties selling over market. Average number of days, a week ago, homes that were active was 45 days, and then 43 days to go under contract. Come on the market, go off the market. Come on the market, go off the market. That's what was happening. This last week, only 39 days for active, and then 68 days for what was under contract. So it looks like maybe those higher price range homes went under contract. They take a little bit longer to sell off, but still really sharp numbers that we're seeing here. And remember, these are averages. These are not median numbers. Average means there's outliers out there, and the outliers are the ones that are pricing way too aggressively and not getting sold. And so they're driving those numbers up on the averages. But 68 is still, before we were always at 90, 120 days. So 68 is a lot shorter for an average. So we could go all these pretty bar graphs, the average list price, which is LP. So if you go back to this, LP stands for list price. And for the sold homes, their average list price is 487. And then the average sale price for the sold homes, SP, sale price, was 484. Just such a tiny little difference between list price, the seller's asking price, and the average sold price. Remember, outliers out there, they maybe not have been able to sell at list price because they started way too high, or there was just something really crazy going on with the house and they were asking for too much for what the house had to offer. But still, 3K difference, that means there's the majority of the homes out there were selling at or over list to only have a 3K difference on the average. Average list price for the sold homes this week was 606. Average sale price, 611. Okay, 606 price, 611 sale price average, sold 5 over list on the average. Even with the outliers out there, that means we're seeing bigger differences of transactions between list price and over list price sale price. Buyers are increasing how much they're going over list. Before, buyers thought, well, I'll do a few thousand over list. I'll do like the 2,000, I'm offering more than what they're asking. Shouldn't they be happy? But now buyers are jumping in there saying, I can outdo that. I'm willing to pay more than what the other buyer's willing to do. So we're seeing not 10, but we're seeing 20, 30, sometimes even 40 over list. We're not California because they're doing 100, 200, 300 over list. But for Naperville, when you're hitting 20 to 40 over list, wow, and this is why we're seeing the average of a 5K over list for an average. Okay, I'd love to see what the median is. But I can't pull up all numbers. Call me if you want even more numbers. This is for the average number of showings per listing for weekend activity, according to the showing time that the majority of the brokerages use to schedule and record showings. So last week we were at 5.1, really nice, jump, okay? And this week here was Easter, 2.88. That was Easter weekend, then it picked up more. Then we hit Mother's Day weekend. Gosh, all these little celebrations and stuff screwed up the day. Not really. It's just giving all of us agents like a little tiny break, and probably the buyers a break too. Everyone needs a little break because this is a rough market out there for everyone. And my heart goes out to all of you, whether you're an agent, a buyer, or even a seller. It's hard having, a gazillion parties coming through your house. As a buyer, it's very tiring that you got to be available and ready to see a home when it hits the market. And of course, all us agents out there, we're like doctors on call. We got to just drop everything so we can get our buyers into the home. So this 2.64 was kind of like a little breather, so I don't mind it. It's okay, because I bet next week when I do this show, we're going to be back up to 4 or 5. Just watch. So last week, the market action index needle was 48. This is just a real nice, pretty way of showing in general. Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? Is it just a fair market? So last week, 48. This week, 49. And look at the difference in the wording. I'll point it out again. Last week, it said strong seller's market. This week, it says slight seller's advantage. Advantage is the key word. It's saying sellers are definitely at an advantage now. It's moved up to the next stage of, how they're going to call this. So this task, and I will say 2020, this is the first time I've seen the needle at 49. I never saw it in the 40s even in 2020. I was like, wow, my God, we're at 38, 39. And then we broke into 40 and like 49, I've never seen that. I'll be interested to see if we ever break to 50 before 2021 ends. Let's see. I'll be curious. I'm going to keep doing this show just because I want to know, because I got to keep updating this information for all of you out there, which I really enjoy doing. All right. So interest rates, we last week, base rate was 3.11 for conventional and FHA was 2.94. APR FHA much higher than the 2.94, 3.79. Base rate 3.32, you know, before we were having, or APR, I mean, before APR was at 3 or even a little under. So it has creeped up, you guys. We are seeing creeping up on the interest rates, and buyers, stop sitting around. All right. Jump in before the home prices are even higher and the interest rates are higher, because that's what all the industry experts are saying. They're saying both are going to be higher. This is not a bubble, you guys. This is called low inventory. It is the only thing that is driving these prices up, that and interest rates. But so if you want to have these really good interest rates and lock in a price before it goes even higher, and I don't care if you're in a bidding war, you're still going to be paying lower than a year from now. All you have the rates. Okay, so stop whining. Sorry, stop whining. Grab a house while you got the cheaper money and before the prices go higher. I'm seeing them go higher even with the high luxury homes too. You got to take action here. Don't wait for the perfect home, because that does not exist. It does not exist. Okay. I'll tell you a quick story about that, about how there's no perfect home. I have an agent that does luxury in California. She helped a client find a lot on the cliffside so they can look out onto the Pacific. They said, find us a cliff lot and we want to build on it. We want to have our dream home. We want to look out on the ocean. And she did. She found them the lot. And it probably took 5 years engineering feet to build this, again, gorgeous luxury home. Millions and millions of dollars. Couple sitting at the closing table, and they look at the agent while they're signing the papers to buy. They're finally closing out everything. They can give occupancy. And they looked at their agent who helped them find the builder and the lot and everything. And they said, you know, when we're done buying this, we want you to sell it right away. We want you to sell it. And the agent's like, you guys just spent like 5 years building this home. It's your dream home. Why? I have to ask, why are you selling it? They said, this was a trial run. Now we know what we really want in a house. So my point is, I don't care what price range you're purchasing. Maybe if we're a little like the home, then we'll find the home we like. It's not true, because then you're going to have a higher expectation and you're going to keep raising the bar on your expectations as you raise your price. So stop looking for the perfect home. Write down your non-negotiables, stick to that, and pick a home. That's how you're going to have success and be able to lock in this cheap money and avoid having to pay more down the road for a smaller home. All right, that's my little coaching there for you. Getting a little tough with you, but I hope that helps make sense. So that way you're not chasing your tail. So looking nationally, what's going on nationally? This is talking about home months of inventory. It's barely any month. It's like nothing here. It's like the baseline's 1.5. So it's around 2 months. Nationally, you know, we do have some areas that are slower. So it's really low. But if you looked microscopically here, you can see it took a little bit of a dip up. Okay. So that might have to do with the rates creeping up. Maybe less buyers are going out there. So sellers, I wouldn't wait. I would jump on the market now. Average number of offers, not showings, offers, 4.8, around 5 on average. This is national. I've seen a lot more offers than that on my listings. So in the Naperville market, you know, you should have at least 2. If you're not getting 2 offers in the first week, change your price. All right. It's already late. So please listen to your agent. Please listen to your agent. If they're telling you you should have had an offer by now, they're right. You should have had an offer. If you didn't, it means you're not priced right. You're asking for too much. Don't get overzealous. Be appropriate to the market. And that's how you'll be able to drive your price up when you are priced right. Okay. So if you don't have an offer, at least one offer the first week that you're on the market, and you're priced around the numbers that I was showing you for average, you know, list price, you got to adjust it. Otherwise, put in some fabulous updates in your home. Of course, do you want to take the time of waiting and being off the market? We don't know what's going to happen in June, July. It might turn into crickets. I know it has historically in the last couple of years. So you really got May and June to really hop on it, you guys, and get your house on the market. we see every the median number of days, it will be around 12 days. That's what I find when I'm looking at micro markets with my seller. You're seeing this, internet's a little unstable. And just share my screen one more time. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch. That means you actually decisions, which is fair. And I will keep doing this to really pick my brain what's happening and get more detailed stories. I'm happy to do that with you. Please don't be shy. I don't mind you calling. You're not bothering me. That's what my job is. Okay, this is my job, to help people out and understand the market. So give me a call anytime. I appreciate you watching, and I really enjoy doing this show. And I hope we can talk sometime. Give me a call or DM me on social media, shoot me an email, or even just me. I don't mind. Hope you're having a great day. You're having a fabulous week, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.